Hi and welcome. You are on my channel Blythe Me More. Well, since I got so many nice and beautiful comments regarding this jacket, this knitted jacket or pullover with puff sleeves, I decided that I will make a very special tutorial because honestly I was experimenting here a lot and I'm really happy with my results. So if you wish to knit such nice outfit for your blouse, stay with me. I find it especially beautiful when this pullover is above the some dress or a top without sleeves. Um, Here it has buttons in front, so they're functional. You can button and unbutton it. So like here. Especially I love the clothes which is a bit oversized since the head of Blythe is so big and body is so small, so it's kind of balancing it and making all the image to be so charming. Let me brief you regarding the materials we use. So I will be using knitting needles 1.5, two of them, scissors, two stitch markers, big needle, small needle, buttons 0.6 millimeters. I don't advise you smaller ones. Well, I still haven't decided yet whether I want them to be white, pink, circle or hearts. So based on that, I also will match the thread accordingly. So yarn is called Angela Alpaca. I bought it on AliExpress. I really like it. I can say that as an experiment I purchased one more type of yarn also from Ali with this raccoon. This is the name of the yarn. It's also nice and very soft, and I think it's even like more economical because I am knitting by using one main thread and one additional, and here with this yarn I knit in two threads, but still the final result, the effect, I like much more. As I mentioned, I will be knitting in two threads, so one I take from the middle and one from the upper layer of the skein of yarn, and we need to cast on 20 stitches. So we need to cast on 20. Start with the slip stitch. We also count it as the first stitch. We don't need to leave any long end, so because we're going to hide it. Once we cast on, the thread which is connected to the skein of yarn is facing us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. First row will be all purl stitches, and throughout our project, so the first stitch we will be always moving to the right needle without changes, and the last stitch, regardless what the pattern is, will be always a purl stitch. Okay, so we need to knit till the end of the row our purl stitches. Well, if you have been knitting with me the top for Blythe with short sleeves, it has a very similar base, but unlike the top, here we have in total 20 stitches. And how they are divided. So here the first one and the last one, these are slip stitches, and these are the parts of the front. Well, I'm not good at drawing, but well, these parts, these are our front, this, and this part, it's our sleeve. This part, it's our back, and again, as a mirror reflection, this part, it will be our sleeve, and this part is our front. Okay. Well, what else we need to know? Front, here will have a pattern of such kind. So this pattern appears when two last and two first stitches, without counting slip stitches, in the front we crochet, we knit them not with knit stitches but with purl stitches. Yeah, it may sound a little bit confusing, but in the process of knitting you'll see that it's pretty much easy. So let's continue. And here are these stitches. This will be our raglan. Okay, so what raglan is? So it means that before and after this stitch we'll be making slip stitches. Slip stitch, we knit, slip stitch, and continue. Now we'll make our second row, and here we'll have our raglan. So the first one we just move, then this will be our first, it's a part of the front. Okay, now we'll be knitting our raglan. So slip stitch, knit stitch, slip stitch. Now it will be our sleeve, 3 stitches, again raglan, slip stitch, knit stitch, slip stitch, 6 stitches our back, raglan, 3 stitches our sleeve, raglan, and this is our front, and this is our last stitch, which is always a purl stitch. Okay, so what happens next? So here are no changes. Here no changes. Here we are going to knit all purl stitches. First one we move, so in order to check the stitch count once you finish this row, so you will have 28 stitches. So we had 20 and we increased, right, 4 times with 2 stitches, so 28. Here be careful. So in this row, this is our front, right, right side, this is our right side. So here we also have raglan, so we'll have plus 8 stitches, but our first 2, without counting this first slip stitch, these 2 will be always purl stitches, and here also we don't count the last stitch, so these 2 also will be always purl stitches. Well, this one is purl stitch in all the times. So this is for our pattern, for our waves in front. So we knit purl stitches. Now here you see we have this chain going. We will slip stitch, knit stitch, slip stitch. Okay, we continue 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, slip stitch, knit stitch, slip stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, slip stitch, knit stitch, slip stitch, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, slip stitch, knit stitch, slip stitch. These are 2 purl stitches for the pattern, and the last one is always a purl stitch. Right, so in this row we don't change anything, so we'll just keep it the way it is. All are purl stitches with the same number of stitches as of now. So this is our front, our right side, and here we have 36 stitches. Again, we will do raglan and we'll increase by 8, so it will be 44, and then again we'll have purl stitches, and then again we'll have one more row with raglan. So we'll end adding the stitches and making raglan once we have 52 stitches. So I will show you one more time. Don't forget that each right side, each front side, we will have the first 2 stitches. They will be purl stitches for our pattern. Okay, and here we are switching to knit stitches. Let's find our raglan. Here it is. This is our chain, slip stitch, knit stitch, slip stitch, and again continue in the same manner till the end. Don't forget that your last 2 stitches are also purl stitches without counting the very last one, which is also always purl stitch. So yeah, in other words, so your 3 stitches in the right side will be purl stitches. After we had our last raglan and we have 52 stitches, one more row of the purl stitches of 52, and again this is our right side. Here what happens, we will increase but just 2 stitches. So where does it happen? First one we move, so we don't need raglan anymore. Yeah, I almost forgot that all right side we still continue till the end of this jacket. It will be the 2 purl stitches, the first one and the last one. Okay, so here we are reaching this raglan. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stitches with the slip stitch. Here we have our slip stitch to increase, okay, the one closer to the sleeve. We have knit stitch. Here we don't have the slip stitch anymore, so we just knit it all. So this is the part of our sleeve. No changes. Again we're reaching raglan, no changes. And in this row we need to pay a lot of attention because many things are happening here. So first of all, as always, we move the first slip stitch, and we don't forget that our first 2 stitches will be purl stitches. Okay, then here we still have the part of the front. 1, 2, 3 stitches, and we are reaching raglan. So we are not going to knit raglan. We only will have 1 slip stitch. We have 1 slip stitch, and we knit this chain of the raglan, Okay, now this part of 11 stitches, it will be our sleeve. We'll move it to the stitch marker. I use stitch markers. So we don't have here, we don't add the slip stitch. So we move 11. Well, check it carefully. So now just in a regular way, we need all the back stitches here. Also make it tight. We don't want to have a big hole here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We have here 16. This is our back. Again, we need to lock 11 stitches of the sleeve. So here, this is our chain from the raglan. We also knit it in a regular way. We have one increase with a slip stitch, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 are here left. We knit, then we have 3 purl stitches. Check carefully. Here we have 32 stitches, and here will be our sleeves. So now we are just working with the body of the jacket, and next row no changes, just purl stitches. And now we'll be knitting these waves. It can be as long as you want, okay, if you want it to be longer, because it's pretty much like a top. Okay, so to make these waves, it's very easy. So here, all the right side, it will be purl stitches. So you see, instead of knit stitches, all will be purl stitches, and here we don't need to switch these last two because they all will be purl. Okay, so purl stitches, and here also purl stitches. So we don't change, we just knit purl stitches as many rows as we want. I'll check, is it 4 or 5 I'll make this time. So let's see, I knitted 4 rows. You see now the thread is from the left. Why I pay attention to that? Because if we look at the jacket, you see these 2 loops, they are from the right side. So now it's perfect, because I'm going to close the stitches, and I will go back and end here. I will not cut it short because I need this thread long enough that will let me make a chain of such loops for our buttons. Okay, well, I like closing with the hook number 3. I don't take the smaller one because I don't want this part to be too tight. If you want, you can just close it all with the knitting needles. So you'll be doing it like this too. You knit in one, yeah, then put it back again. You have to make to be one, and so on. Also, don't make it too tight. But I prefer, as I told you, crochet hook. So it has the same principle. I just find it easier and more comfortable. Yeah, I would say more comfortable. As I mentioned earlier, we need our thread to be left on the left side. So I will not cut it too short again, because we need two loops. Well, maybe like this. Right. Well, if you like it this way, so you can just skip it and close the sleeves. It will be a very short sleeved. I feel like this time it became bigger. I'm not sure why it did happen. Maybe because I wasn't knitting tight enough. It was more loose, so it will be slightly bigger. Yeah, but the yarn and the knitting needles are the same. So yeah, if you want it to be smaller, then you need to knit tighter. So what do we have here? We are going to knit the sleeves. If you don't want it to be complicated, so you can just knit these 11 stitches from the right side as knit stitches, as long as you want. So it can be 3/4, it can be long sleeve. At the end of the sleeve you can make such waves by changing and the right side to make purl stitches. So it's all your imagination, your creativity. If you want to have such puff sleeves, so then you need to continue watching this video, because I'm going to show you how. As you see, I have finished my first sleeve, and I will show you how to make it by completing the second one. First of all, we need to transfer the stitches from the stitch marker to the knitting needle. You must have 11 stitches. So the first one we move without changes, and now it's time to link the yarn. So we start, our first row is purl stitches. We don't need long end. So our task is to knit this row without changes, following the pattern. Okay, and well, in total we need to make 3 rows. Okay, so this is the first one. Then on the right side we will make knit stitches, second one, and third row again purl stitches. So once you have completed your 3 rows with no changes, we'll meet again. Now in this right side row we are going to increase. We're going to increase 3 times. Well, for you to know, all increase will be happening in the right side, the front, okay, because we're going to do it several times. So this is the first time. We knit 3 stitches without counting the one which is a slip stitch, the first one. Okay, so now we have 4 here, 3, and we are going to increase. So now we're not going to increase this way like we're doing the raglan. We don't want any holes in between. So between 2 stitches, you see there is the line connecting, so we put it up. Now we have this slip stitch, and we knit it. We knit it from left to right. Again, 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3. We repeat. In between, it's very visible, easy to grab it. So one more time. 1, 2, 3. Grab it, and the last stitch, as always, is a purl stitch. Okay, what happens next? All wrong sides will be just following the pattern, no changes. We'll repeat the purl stitches. So it means if we had 11 plus 3, so in total there should be 14. So we knit it without changes. And in this manner we are going to increase several times. So after this row is over, I turn again back, right? So again I make 4 times increase, I mean 4 stitches increase, 4 stitches increase, 4 stitches increase. Again we go back, and this way we make until we have 6 stitches increase. So if you're not sure, I can show you just one more time. We don't count this first stitch. So before we were increasing after 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, but now we'll be increasing after 4. Again the same story, we put it up. This is the way we increase. Okay, and repeat again 2 times like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, increase. Well, I'm sure that you understood. So we'll again, I will not be increasing anything on the wrong side, and we need to reach 6 stitches increase. Once you finished, you have 23 stitches. So here one more row of 23, just we make it as usual, and in this row we will be decreasing. So we don't count this, then it's 5 knit stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, we increase by knitting 2 together. Again 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Together, and one more time. Slip stitch. Now 20 purl stitches, no changes. Well, in this right side we will do the next one. We move without changes, and all stitches will be decreasing. So 2 make 1, 2 make 1, so all of them, but the last one will be only 1, and it will be a purl stitch. Right, so we have 11 stitches now. Now no changes. We'll need 11 stitches, purl stitches. Okay, after it's over, you'll make one more row of 11 stitches on the right side. Okay, just following the pattern. Once you finished your twice 11, to create such waves, you need to make 4 more rows, and they will be all, so on the purl, on the wrong side, they will be all knit stitches instead of purl stitches, and also they will be knit stitches here. So 4 more rows and all will be knit stitches to create these rows. I already made it. And finally, the very last thing we do, we are going to close the stitches or fasten off our work. So you can do it either with crochet hook or with a knitting needle. So I prefer doing it with crochet hook. I'll make them all to be locked as also purl stitches. I pass through and take through both. Till the end. Take your needle with a big eyelet. So how are we going to sew that? So how are we going to sew the sleeve? It will be from the front side. Put them together. Okay. So here you see we have this chain with big loops from both sides. So we are going to knit through it, through this path. So definitely the first one should be here to lock it right. Till the end. I make a couple of knots and it's easy to hide the thread. Just pass it through here. Still we have this one. Also we can make one knot if there are any holes, so you can lock them and hide it the same way. Here we are. Well, I decided that I will use these round pinky buttons. I will sew them from the right side. Well, I need only two. It can be maybe even one, but two I find it better. And once I sew them, then from this side we'll make two loops. Here they are. And finally the loops. So I take crochet hook number 2 and make a chain. Well, usually 4 or 5 in a chain. Well, then I can check it, you know, before locking. Here I have a slip stitch, but I don't close and don't go further until I check the size. It's a bit big, so I will make it 4 in a chain. Yeah, 4 is good. You also check, depending on the size of your knitting hook and yarn and button, it can be different. Now I take a needle, so I need to see where to make the second one. And again the same principle, I will make 4. Yeah, be careful, do not leave like big holes here. As I told you that the first time I was knitting, it was smaller size of stitches. This one it came a little bit loose, maybe because it wasn't tight enough. Yeah, so make it better loose. 1, 2, 3, 4. No need to be in a hurry because we want to make everything right, especially if it's just last minor details left. So the very last step is just to hide this end and try it on outfit and on a doll. What a cute oversized cardigan. If you want, you can put it slightly down the shoulders for creating such romantic look. See how beautiful? Well, I hope you like this tutorial and you like your final result, such a beautiful cardigan. So don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and expect many more videos to come. And I say bye bye.